Welcome to Sleepy Science. The universe holds secrets no one talks about. Time is not the same everywhere. Space stretches but has no center. Light reaching you now began its journey before Earth existed. Galaxies drift silently, carrying hidden truths. Most of the universe is invisible, yet it shapes everything you see. Tonight, you will witness facts that feel impossible but are quietly real. Each idea will pull you deeper, layer by layer. By the end, you will see the universe as few ever have. Subscribe to Sleepy Science now and let's uncover the unseen together. Before anything existed, there was nothing. Not a sound, not a shape, not even a moment to count. Space had not been born. Time had not begun. It is hard to imagine this because our minds are built to think about places and moments. But there was neither. The universe did not erupt. It did not explode into being. It was smaller than thought, smaller than distance itself. Some call it a singularity, but even that is a word that tries to make sense of something that cannot be touched or measured. It was a place without place, a time without time, and yet it held everything that would ever be. Then somehow a change occurred. Not a bang like fireworks, not a sound like a shout. Something shifted and suddenly space appeared. And along with it the first moments of time. There was no center, no edge. The beginning was everywhere at once, yet nowhere in particular. It is a strange thought, but the universe did not need a starting point. The start was the fabric of existence itself stretching into reality. Everything you know, everything you are, began in that quiet moment, but there were no eyes to see it, no ears to hear it, no way to know. At the start, the universe was unimaginably dense. All that exists now, stars, galaxies, planets, even you, was packed into something smaller than an atom. There was heat beyond imagining, and yet it was still quiet. No movement you would recognize, no sound to echo, no space for sound to travel, only potential ready to unfold. You could call it empty, but that would be wrong. It was full of possibility, and that is part of the mystery. From a state that seems like nothing, everything came. Even the first particles were strange. Not yet atoms, not yet matter as we know it. Just raw building blocks, energy swirling in ways we cannot see. They followed rules we are only beginning to understand. They moved in patterns that seemed random, yet they shaped what would come next. Gravity was already there, silent, invisible. It had no voice. It did not demand anything. It simply waited. And in that waiting, the first whispers of structure formed. Patterns that were too small to notice, yet crucial. One tiny imbalance could decide the shape of entire galaxies billions of years later. Time itself behaved differently then. Not faster, not slower, but differently. The concept of past and future was meaningless. There was only the unfolding of events that could not yet be measured. It is hard to imagine a reality without seconds or hours, but the universe began without them. And in that beginning, something quietly extraordinary happened. The first fragments of space grew. They stretched outward. They allowed the next particles to exist in new forms. And slowly, the universe began to take shape. Not with a plan, not with purpose, just with the inevitability of physical laws acting in silence. There was no light yet. Darkness filled everything, but it was not frightening. There was nothing to fear, nothing to notice, just the endless potential of what could be. Some scientists call this the Dark Era. For millions of years, matter existed without structure, without form. Only tiny fluctuations hinted at the future. These fluctuations were small, almost invisible, yet they became the blueprint for everything that followed. Without them, there would be no galaxies, no stars, no planets, no life. They were hidden, yet powerful. And that is the secret of the early universe. The smallest, quietest changes can shape the largest things. Eventually, the first light began to emerge. Not the light we see with our eyes, but light in its purest form. It moved freely through the empty spaces that had begun to exist. This light carried messages from a time when there was no Earth, no sun, no humans. It traveled across space without pause, without notice, without need of anyone to observe it. And even now, billions of years later, that same light reaches us. It tells a story older than memory, a story too vast for words. And every time you look at the night sky, even unknowingly, you are touching that story. The universe was silent, but it was far from simple. The forces of nature were already working, invisible but present. Gravity pulled even in the smallest spaces. Energy shifted. Matter began to clump, tiny at first but unstoppable. Time moved, space expanded, and particles collided in ways that set the stage for everything that was to follow. None of it was hurried. None of it shouted. Everything acted with patience. And that patience is what makes cosmology so strange. It is enormous yet slow, infinite yet subtle, vast yet invisible, and most of it happens without anyone watching. Even at this earliest stage, there were hints of mystery that still puzzle us today. Why did the universe expand in the way it did? Why did matter win over antimatter? Why did small fluctuations become stars and galaxies instead of dissipating completely? These questions are unanswerable in the moment, yet they shape everything we know. They are the hidden threads that connect past and future, the quiet secrets that guide the universe's growth. And because they are hidden, they capture the imagination. They make you want to know what comes next, even when the next step is billions of years away. As the first structures began to form, space itself was already immense. Not the kind of space we measure with rulers or see in rooms, but the true vastness of the universe. Distances too great to imagine. Places so far apart that even light would take millions of years to travel between them. And within this vastness, patterns emerged. Small clusters, tiny fluctuations, first sparks of order in an otherwise uniform darkness. Nothing was loud. Nothing moved with drama. Everything unfolded with quiet inevitability. And the quiet makes it almost impossible to fully grasp, which is why we are drawn to it. The mystery holds attention without effort. Even now, when you look at the night sky, you are looking at a memory. The stars you see are not as they are. They are as they were when their light left them, often millions or billions of years ago. And when you realize this, the scale becomes unsettling. You exist in a universe that is older than thought, that moves in ways you cannot perceive, and that has been following rules you cannot see. Yet you are part of it. You are connected silently to all the beginnings, all the light, all the dark, all the hidden forces that shaped everything. And that connection is both strange and comforting. Strange because it is invisible, comforting because it is constant. The beginning of the universe was not chaotic. It was not noisy. It was patient, invisible, and full of potential. It contained the secrets of what was to come. It held patterns that would decide the shape of galaxies and the formation of planets. It carried the first hints of light, time, and space. And it waited, waiting without urgency, without drama, without anyone to notice. That waiting is still happening. Every second the universe continues in silence, and every second it carries the same quiet mysteries forward. And as you consider this, think about your own place. You are part of a story that began without space or time, with no sound, no motion, no observer. You are living inside the results of that first quiet moment. And the more you let yourself imagine it, the more the mind stretches. The mysteries of the beginning are not meant to be fully understood. They are meant to be experienced slowly, hinted at, whispers of secrets that pull you further. And tonight you are hearing them for the first time. The universe is enormous. The universe is silent. The universe has no beginning you can fully grasp, and that is where the mystery lives. Not in explosions, not in drama, not in loud events, but in quiet potential, in hidden patterns, in the very way space and time behave without asking for notice. And that is why cosmology is strange. It is a story without words, a motion without sound, a beginning that still continues. And it is waiting for your mind to catch up. Light is not like anything we experience in daily life. It travels fast, faster than anything else we know, yet it moves quietly without noise, without hesitation. Every second, countless beams of light cross the universe, carrying messages from places so distant that we cannot imagine them. The light you see from a star tonight left that star millions of years ago. Millions. It began its journey long before humans existed, long before Earth had oceans or mountains. It has been moving silently, faithfully, for longer than any memory can hold, and only now reaches your eyes. In that moment, you are seeing a past that is far older than you. You are touching a history that happened without anyone there to watch it. Each ray of light is a traveler, but it is trapped by its own speed. Even though it moves at the fastest rate possible, the universe is so vast that it cannot arrive immediately. Distances are measured in light years because that is the only way to describe how long it takes to cross them. When you see a star, you are not seeing it as it is now. You are seeing it as it was when its light first left. Sometimes the star no longer exists, but its glow still reaches us. The universe allows you to witness what is already gone without ever leaving your place. That is both beautiful and unsettling. Time can be observed but never fully captured. Light does not carry only brightness. It carries secrets of its origin. It tells the temperature of its star, the chemical patterns in its clouds, and even hints at events too subtle for any human to notice without tools. Every flicker of light is a story from the past, and yet it does not announce itself. It simply travels, ignoring everything in its path until it arrives. In that sense, the universe is patient. It does not hurry. It does not remind us that time has passed. The light does not care. It merely allows us to see what happened long ago, and in seeing it, we can begin to understand a cosmos that exists on scales far beyond imagination. When we look at the night sky, we forget that what we see is not now. The sun, for example, is 8 minutes in the past. The light left it 8 minutes ago, and we only notice it now. 8 minutes is small compared to the millions of years it takes for light from distant galaxies to reach us. Some galaxies we observe today may no longer exist. Their light is a ghost. It is a memory traveling across emptiness, carrying information that no one else could witness. The concept of now becomes meaningless. What we see is always history, even when it appears present. And that is a secret the universe quietly holds. Light moves in straight lines, but the universe itself bends it. Massive objects like stars and black holes warp space, bending the path of light that passes near them. Sometimes we see the same object twice, in two places at once, because light followed different routes across cosmic distances. What we perceive is an illusion created by the fabric of space itself. Reality is not what it seems. You may think you are seeing a star where it exists, but the universe has hidden its true position from you. Light is not only a messenger from the past, it is a storyteller that hides parts of its story, revealing only what it chooses, shaped by forces invisible to the eye. Even the color of light carries secrets. Red light from distant galaxies is stretched by the expansion of space. The farther away a galaxy is, the redder it appears. This is not a filter or a trick. It is evidence of motion, of the universe itself growing larger. Every photon is a witness to cosmic change, slowly arriving after traveling unimaginable distances. And every photon we see today left its source when conditions were very different. The universe has aged, yet the light preserves the past in perfect detail. Seeing it is like opening a letter written billions of years ago, never read until this exact moment. Our eyes cannot capture all this information. They are limited. Most of the universe's light exists outside what we can see. Infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, all travel to us, invisible and unnoticed, carrying details that tell the history of stars, galaxies, and cosmic events. The universe is full of messages we cannot even sense. And yet, even what we can see is enough to challenge the mind. It makes you question the nature of time. It makes you aware that you are always behind, always observing a past that is already gone. And in that awareness, there is a strange feeling, as if you are peeking at secrets that were never meant to be noticed by anyone alive. Light does not slow down. It cannot stop. Once it starts moving, it continues relentlessly. But space can change, and with that, light's journey is affected. Distances grow while light travels, stretching the path farther than it would have been in a static universe. Time and space are connected in ways that bend the perception of motion. When you watch the night sky, you are seeing an orchestra of travel that began long before you existed, and that will continue long after you are gone. Each photon is a traveler, a silent messenger of history that carries no urgency, only the facts of what was. Some of the oldest light in the universe comes not from stars, but from the moment when the universe first became transparent. Before that, light could not move freely. It was trapped, bouncing endlessly through dense particles. Then, as the universe cooled, light finally escaped. This light has been moving ever since, untouched, undisturbed, stretching across the emptiness, and it is still reaching us now. Observing it is like holding the first breath of the cosmos in your mind. It is quiet, yet profound. It contains the memory of creation itself, and it is always just arriving, never hurried, never late. Looking at this light also changes the way you understand existence. You realize that observing the universe is never a direct experience. Everything is filtered through distance and time. What you see has already happened, often long before any observer could exist. Your eyes meet the universe as an echo. The present moment is only a reference, a thin layer over a vast past. And within that past are events that shape the structure of everything, from galaxies to planets to life itself. The more you consider this, the more mysterious it becomes. The universe is speaking in a language of time, not space, and we are only just learning how to listen. Even familiar stars hide mysteries in their light. Their flicker, their color, their movement, all carry clues about their age, their composition, and their history. Some of the stars we see may be dead. Some may have exploded, leaving nothing behind but the light that continues. Observing them is like reading a diary of a life long ended. It reminds us that time in the universe flows differently, that observation is always delayed, and that reality is not fixed but layered with histories we cannot touch. Each observation is a secret, revealed only when patience allows. And while light travels endlessly, the universe itself is constantly changing. New stars form, old ones die. Galaxies collide. Black holes bend space. Light continues on its journey, passing through changes it cannot be affected by. yet it carries the memory of every transformation it encounters. Every photon is both a witness and a record, traveling silently across time. And when it finally reaches us, we are confronted with the quiet truth. The universe existed long before we could know it, and it continues, regardless of our attention, sending secrets one beam at a time. So when you look at the stars tonight, remember this. You are seeing more than light. You are seeing the past itself. You are touching moments that happened before anyone, anywhere could exist. Each star, each galaxy, each faint glow is a message from history, carried patiently across distances that defy understanding. The universe is immense, silent, and deliberate. Light is its messenger, always moving, always carrying secrets, always arriving too late for itself, but just in time for you. The universe is growing, not in one direction, not from a center, not like a balloon being blown up from a single point. It is expanding everywhere at once. Every part of space stretches, carrying galaxies with it. There is no edge to reach, no boundary to touch, no center to call home. This is hard to imagine because everything on Earth has a place, a middle, a beginning, and an end. But the universe does not follow those rules. Every point in space is moving away from every other point. Everywhere looks like the center and nowhere feels special. The more you think about it, the stranger it becomes. Distances between galaxies increase constantly, not because they are flying through space, but because space itself is stretching. The void between them grows larger every second, even when nothing seems to move. The universe is not rushing. It does not hurry. It simply allows space to grow quietly without sound or drama. Galaxies seem far away, but the truth is that space itself is what separates them. And the farther something is, the faster it appears to recede. This is not speed in the way we understand it. This is expansion, a mysterious process that is both invisible and unavoidable. We call this expansion the Hubble flow, but it is more than a name. It is evidence that the universe has been growing since its earliest moments, and it grows in every direction. Look left, look right, look up, look down. Everywhere the universe stretches the same way. There is no preferred direction. The universe is symmetric on the largest scales, and yet within this symmetry there is complexity. Galaxies form clusters, filaments stretch across hundreds of millions of light years, and voids appear where almost nothing exists. Order emerges from expansion, without anyone planning it, without any force shouting commands. Even empty space is not truly empty. The void is vast, and most of the universe is made of it. Yet this emptiness allows everything else to move. Stars, galaxies, planets, even light travel within these spaces, carried by the expansion itself. The universe is mostly quiet. Most of its content cannot be seen. Most of its matter is invisible, and most of the volume is dark. But even in this darkness, the stretching continues. Nothing stops it. Nothing slows it. Nothing complains. And in this silence, enormous secrets are hidden. Secrets that shape the way galaxies grow, the way light travels, and the way the universe behaves over billions of years. You may imagine that expansion is obvious, like a balloon inflating. But it is not. You cannot see it day by day. You cannot measure it directly with your senses. You only know it through careful observation, through light from distant galaxies, and through understanding the subtle effects of gravity and motion. The universe hides its growth in plain sight. It is continuous, constant, and invisible, and that makes it feel almost alive, moving with intent, yet without consciousness. It is the quietest motion imaginable, yet it changes everything. The early universe expanded faster than anything we can experience today. In a tiny fraction of a second, space grew unimaginably large. This period is called inflation, and it set the stage for the universe we see now. Tiny fluctuations during that expansion would become the seeds of galaxies and clusters. The universe grew in silence, carrying within it the hints of patterns we can observe billions of years later. These patterns tell a story if you know how to read them. They reveal the hidden architecture of reality. And yet the universe does not announce them. It waits for someone to notice, quietly inviting curiosity. Even now, expansion continues. Dark energy dominates the universe, pushing it outward faster and faster. This is not a force in the traditional sense. It does not pull or push objects directly. It is a property of space itself. Every new cubic meter of space carries a little more dark energy, accelerating the expansion. The more the universe grows, the faster it expands. And no matter how far you look, there is no end. There is no wall. There is only more space stretching further into darkness, carrying galaxies that appear to flee from each other, though they do not move on their own. They are passengers of a silent process that is invisible yet unstoppable. This expansion has strange consequences for perception. Some galaxies are so far away that the light they emitted billions of years ago is only just reaching us. Others are moving away so fast that their light will never reach us. They are forever beyond our view, hidden behind the growing distance. In a sense, the universe is both revealing and hiding itself at the same time. We see parts of it clearly, but other regions are already lost to us. It creates a cosmic mystery where observation is incomplete. There is always more to uncover, and yet some truths may never be known. Space does not stretch uniformly on small scales. Gravity binds stars into galaxies, and galaxies into clusters. These clumps resist the expansion locally, even while the empty spaces between them grow. That means some structures remain stable while others are carried apart. The universe is patient. It allows motion and stillness to exist simultaneously. It permits chaos and order to coexist, all without sound, without warning, without drama. And this balance is part of what makes cosmology so strange. Patterns emerge from nothing. Motion occurs without force, and reality unfolds with quiet inevitability. Even the concept of a center becomes meaningless. On Earth, everything has a reference point, a center. But in the universe, there is no central place. Every galaxy, every star, every planet experiences the same expansion. From every location, it seems that all other points are moving away. There is no preferred perspective, no special vantage point. The universe does not have favorites. And yet, this lack of a center is itself a mystery. It challenges intuition. It forces the mind to think in ways that feel uncomfortable, almost impossible. And that tension keeps curiosity awake, even as the mind grows quiet. The expansion of the universe also stretches light. As space grows, light traveling through it is elongated. This is why distant galaxies appear redder than they should. The redshift is a hidden message of motion, a quiet record of expansion. Each photon carries the story of space stretching beneath it. And every time we measure it, we are reading a past that is encoded in the present. The universe is both messenger and record keeper, silently showing what has happened without demanding attention. Observing it is like discovering secrets that are older than memory, arriving just in time for human awareness. And the scale of it all is beyond comprehension. The distance between clusters, between superclusters, is unimaginable. Empty regions stretch for millions of light years. Galaxies that seem near may already be unreachable. Space itself is not a container. It is a living fabric growing outward in all directions. It is invisible, yet powerful. It is silent, yet transformative. And within this endless expansion there is a strange beauty. Order emerges from emptiness. Patterns form from silence. Motion happens without sound. The universe is enormous, invisible, and patient, and it continues relentlessly whether anyone watches or not. Finally, thinking about this expansion changes perspective. On Earth, problems seem large, thoughts feel urgent, but when you consider a universe without center, without edge, expanding silently for billions of years, all concerns shrink. Time and distance take on new meaning. Light becomes a messenger from the past, space becomes a medium of motion, and existence itself becomes a series of unfolding events that have no hurry. The universe does not care, and yet it contains everything. It grows, stretches, and evolves, quietly, invisibly, carrying mysteries that are only beginning to be understood. And the mind, if it follows, is invited to move slowly alongside it, exploring secrets that are older than life itself. When you look up at the night sky, it feels full. Stars sparkle, galaxies shine, but most of the universe is empty. Not just a little empty, but unimaginably empty. Vast regions where nothing exists for billions of years. No stars, no gas, no dust, no sound. Just emptiness stretching across unimaginable distances. These voids are the dominant feature of reality. They are larger than anything we can easily imagine. Entire galaxies could fit into them, and still, there would be room to spare. It is hard to picture, but emptiness is what the universe is made of. These voids are not smooth or featureless in a way we expect. They have shape. They have boundaries, even if they are subtle. Gravity pulls on the edges, pulling matter toward regions where it already exists. That is why galaxies form clusters, leaving these enormous gaps behind. The universe is mostly empty, and yet that emptiness defines the structure of everything. Without it, there would be no pattern, no order, no cosmic architecture. The spaces between matter are as important as the matter itself, yet they remain hidden, silent, and overlooked. And that is the first secret of emptiness. It is invisible, but indispensable. Some of these voids are truly enormous. They can stretch hundreds of millions of light years in every direction. The light within them is scarce because there is almost nothing to produce it. Sometimes they are completely dark. You would not see a single star if you traveled there. You might think emptiness is simple, but it is not. It is not uniform. Tiny fluctuations, almost impossible to detect, ripple through them. These slight differences in density shape the universe over billions of years. Even nothing is active in its own quiet way. The emptiness between galaxies also affects time and light. Light traveling through these regions moves uninterrupted for millions of years. No particles, no interference, just a straight path through silent space. And yet, even in this perfect nothingness, the expansion of the universe stretches the light. By the time it reaches observers, it has changed in subtle ways, carrying the story of the space it traveled through. Emptiness is not empty of influence. It shapes everything, invisibly, silently, like a hidden hand guiding the cosmos. It is easy to imagine the universe as stars and planets, but in reality, those are the exceptions. Most of space is void. This means that almost everything we see is surrounded by incomprehensible nothingness. Even entire galaxy clusters are isolated by stretches of emptiness, so vast that light would take millions of years to cross. You are looking at matter, but matter is only a tiny fraction of the whole. The rest is silence, absence, invisibility. And that is unsettling because emptiness is not something we experience on Earth. We are surrounded by objects, sounds, and motion. Space emptiness is nothing like that. It is perfect and infinite in a way our senses cannot fully grasp. These voids are also ancient. They have existed for billions of years, longer than any human or any planet. They are the remnants of the earliest structures that formed in the universe. As matter pulled together to form galaxies and stars, the spaces in between grew emptier. And once a void exists, it persists. Nothing rushes in to fill it. Gravity can pull, but over such vast distances the effect is slow. Billions of years may pass with barely a change. The emptiness is patient. It dominates by its persistence, not by force. And that patience is part of its mystery. Some voids are connected by narrow filaments of gas and dark matter. These threads are almost invisible, but they tie distant regions together. Imagine an enormous spider web where the majority of space is empty air and the delicate threads hold everything in place. The voids are the air. The matter is the thread. Without the emptiness, the web would collapse. Without silence, there is no structure. And yet, this architecture is hidden from sight. Only careful observation can reveal it. Even then, the vastness is overwhelming. The mind struggles to understand the scale and the stillness that dominates. The quietness of these voids is remarkable. Unlike stars which explode and burn or galaxies that collide, emptiness does nothing. It does not grow. It does not move visibly. It does not create light or energy. It is the ultimate stillness, stretching across millions of light years, unaffected by almost everything that happens in the universe. Yet in its stillness, it is powerful. It shapes the motion of galaxies. It guides the formation of clusters. It defines the largest patterns of the cosmos. Its influence is hidden, but it is absolute. Even more mysterious is what might lie within these voids. Scientists are still exploring. Some suggest tiny, faint galaxies could exist, nearly invisible. Others imagine dark matter shaping the void subtly, without any visible sign. It is a place that challenges perception, because nothing there makes itself obvious. It is not meant to be noticed. It is not meant to be filled. The void exists for its own sake, as if it knows that silence and absence are as essential as light and matter. And that is a secret few think about. Emptiness is active, not by motion, but by allowing everything else to behave as it does. If you were somehow placed in the middle of a void, you would feel almost nothing. No light, no sound, no sense of movement. The universe would seem frozen, yet it would still be alive in its own way. Galaxies far away would continue to move apart, and light would continue to travel, but the surrounding emptiness would remain unbroken. It is the ultimate paradox, a space that is completely still yet essential to motion. It is invisible, yet it dominates the universe. And knowing this changes perspective. It teaches that absence is as real as presence, and that silence can carry more weight than sound. Even in thought, these voids are difficult to comprehend. How do you imagine millions of light years with nothing in them? It is beyond human experience. Our minds struggle with nothing. We are built to notice things, to measure, to see patterns. Yet here is a place that exists entirely without objects, without events, without noise. And it continues unchanged for billions of years. Its scale and stillness are almost unimaginable, but in that impossibility lies its allure. The void is a mystery, a secret that stretches across space, waiting for minds willing to consider it. And every fact about emptiness pulls the imagination forward, revealing the universe's hidden depth. The vastness between things is also a record. It preserves the history of cosmic formation. The emptiness exists because matter gathered elsewhere. Its shape, size, and boundaries carry information about the universe's earliest moments. Even in nothingness, there is a story. And when scientists study it, they uncover patterns that reveal how galaxies formed, how expansion proceeded, and how the universe evolved. Silence has a memory. Absence leaves evidence. And by observing what is missing, we learn as much as by observing what exists. That is one of the strangest truths about the cosmos. Nothingness can teach more than something. These voids also give the universe space to grow. Expansion occurs mostly in empty regions, where gravity is weak. Matter follows its own rules, forming galaxies and stars, while emptiness stretches and increases. Without this emptiness, the universe would be crowded, chaotic, and entirely different. The vast voids allow for order, for separation, for balance. They are the quiet framework on which everything else hangs. And yet we rarely think of them because they are invisible, silent, and empty. But without them, the universe could not exist as it does. Even now, billions of years after they formed, voids continue to dominate. The largest structures of the universe are defined by emptiness, not matter. Clusters of galaxies, threads of gas, and dark matter are the exceptions. The spaces between them are the rule. The voids carry secrets of the universe's past and hints of its future. They remind us that the universe is vast, mostly unseen, and far stranger than we imagine. And in that realization, there is a mystery that pulls attention quietly, refusing to be ignored. Even in the emptiness of space, there is a quiet glow. It is faint, almost impossible to notice without special instruments, but it is everywhere. This is the cosmic background radiation, the afterimage of the universe's birth. It is not light from stars or galaxies. It is older, much older. It comes from a time when the universe was hot and dense, before atoms formed, before matter clumped into stars and galaxies. It is the lingering warmth of creation, a soft whisper that the universe has never let go of. It has been traveling across space for billions of years, filling every corner, touching everything, yet revealing almost nothing. This glow does not point to a direction. It has no message. It does not travel toward anyone, and it does not avoid anyone. It simply exists, filling the universe evenly. No matter where you look, it is there. The universe is bathed in it. It is invisible to the naked eye, but it is real, measurable, and persistent. Scientists call it the afterglow of the Big Bang, but that term can make it feel like an event with an ending. In truth, it is ongoing. Every second this radiation exists. Every second it carries the memory of creation, silently, without recognition. It is the quietest witness of everything that has happened since the universe began. The cosmic background is faint now because the universe has expanded so much. When it was first released, it was incredibly hot, bright, and intense. But as space grew, the radiation stretched, cooling with the expansion. The hotter universe became the cooler universe we know today. What remains is a soft, nearly uniform glow. It is older than stars, older than galaxies, older than planets. It exists not to be noticed, but simply to persist. And that is a strange thought. Something can exist across the entire universe for billions of years, touching everything, yet go completely unnoticed until we learn to see it. Even more fascinating is what it reveals. The glow is not perfectly uniform. Tiny variations exist, fluctuations smaller than anything we can imagine, but they carry the blueprint for the universe's structure. They show where matter would gather, where galaxies would form, and where emptiness would dominate. In these tiny differences, the universe encoded its future. The background radiation is not just light. It is a record. It is a map of how the cosmos would evolve. And it does this quietly, without words, without direction, without a message. The universe left its signature in the faintest trace of energy, a secret waiting to be read. The glow surrounds everything. Even our own planet is immersed in it. It passes through the solar system, through the Earth, through you right now. You cannot feel it, you cannot see it, but it is there. It is a constant presence, the oldest part of the universe you could ever touch without knowing it. It is a reminder that the cosmos is ancient. It carries the memory of events that happened long before any life existed, long before even Earth itself formed. And that memory has not faded. It persists in silence, in invisibility, in perfect stillness. The universe remembers even if we do not. Observing this background changes perspective. It reveals that the universe is not empty and quiet because it lacks energy. It is quiet because it has matured. It has settled into a rhythm that is invisible, yet undeniable. Stars flare and fade. Galaxies collide and rotate. Black holes bend space and trap light. But the cosmic background endures. It is the foundation, the silent heartbeat, the invisible glow that existed at the beginning and continues to exist now. Every observation of the night sky, every measurement of cosmic temperature, reveals a little more of this persistent whisper from creation. Even though it is uniform, the background radiation carries clues about the universe's shape and age. By studying it, scientists can tell how fast the universe has expanded, what types of matter and energy exist, and even how galaxies are distributed. It is a hidden record, a message without words. It does not tell stories in sentences. It tells them in patterns, in slight variations, in faint shifts across the sky. Every photon from this radiation is a traveler from the dawn of time, carrying the universe's history without knowing that anyone will read it. And in this way, it feels alive. Not alive like creatures, not like stars, but alive in its influence, persistent in its presence, unending in its quiet. Even more mysterious is that this radiation touches every place at once. There is no edge, no center. No matter where you measure it, it is there. It surrounds you. It permeates your body and everything around you, but it does not interact in ways we can feel. The universe is constantly glowing everywhere for billions of years, yet we notice nothing. And this is what makes it strange. It exists beyond perception, yet it influences everything indirectly. It is a hidden force, a witness, a silent record keeper. It is the memory of creation itself, still alive in the fabric of reality. This glow also connects past and future. It tells us where matter was dense and where it was sparse. It hints at the invisible structures that guide galaxies. It shows us that the universe follows rules that are consistent over billions of years. The background radiation is like a frozen map, capturing the cosmos when it was only a few 100,000 years old. And yet, that map still guides the universe today. The same regions that were slightly warmer or cooler billions of years ago are the regions where galaxies now cluster. It is a connection across time that is invisible, silent, and unbroken. Even more subtle is the fact that this radiation is a part of us. It is all around, all the time, and it shapes the universe that shaped Earth and life. Without it, the cosmos would have evolved differently. Stars, planets, and eventually humans would not exist as they do. It is the quiet foundation for everything. And yet, it does not claim attention. It does not scream or signal. It simply persists, a ghostly glow that is older than any living thing, carrying secrets older than any memory. That is the mystery. Existence itself is bathed in a light that we cannot sense, but that holds the universe together. The radiation also reminds us how small we are. The universe existed for hundreds of thousands of years before light could travel freely. It existed for billions of years before life appeared on Earth. And through all that time, this faint glow has been traveling silently across space. It has been everywhere, yet it demands nothing from us. It is not for us. It is not created for eyes or minds. It simply exists. And by existing, it allows us to observe it, to measure it, and to understand the faint traces of a time when the universe was newborn. It is a quiet connection between us and the very beginning, and there is no end to it. This glow does not fade, not entirely. Even as stars form and die, even as galaxies collide and vanish, the background persists. It will continue long after many of the things we see today have disappeared. It is eternal in comparison to human life. It is unchanging in its nature. And yet, it is full of information. Every tiny variation is a secret encoded into the structure of the cosmos. The universe carries it patiently, without urgency, without notice. Observing it is like listening to a story told in whispers across billions of years, waiting for someone willing to hear it. The cosmic background is more than light. It is a presence. It is a reminder that the universe has memory. It is proof that creation left behind traces, not as dramatic fireworks, not as loud events, but as a quiet glow that touches everything, even us. It is a secret of the universe, a truth that can only be discovered with patience and attention. And in understanding it, we see that reality is layered, silent, and deeper than what our senses can capture. The universe carries its story in a subtle, unending glow, and we are immersed in it every moment, whether we know it or not. The universe may seem random when you look at it closely, but on the largest scales, patterns emerge. Galaxies are not scattered like grains of sand. They are arranged in enormous networks called the cosmic web. Filaments of galaxies stretch across millions of light years, connecting clusters like invisible threads. Between them lie the voids, empty spaces so vast they make stars seem like specks of dust. These structures did not form because anything told them to. There was no plan, no intelligence guiding the pattern. They grew from the quiet laws of physics acting over billions of years, shaping the universe silently and invisibly. Gravity is the invisible artist behind this web. It pulls matter toward itself slowly, almost imperceptibly. Over time, the tiniest fluctuations in the early universe grew stronger. Some regions had just a little more matter than others, and gravity magnified that difference. Slowly, galaxies formed along these invisible threads. The universe is patient. It does not hurry. Galaxies did not appear overnight. Clusters took billions of years to form. The order we see today emerges from countless small motions, repeated over incomprehensible spans of time. No one guided it. There was no conscious hand. The structure is a consequence of natural laws, quiet and relentless. The filaments themselves are enormous. They stretch across hundreds of millions of light years. They carry galaxies along invisible pathways, leaving immense voids between them. Some filaments intersect at massive nodes, where the densest clusters of galaxies gather. These intersections are like cosmic cities, hubs of matter surrounded by nearly perfect emptiness. The voids between them are not accidents. They are the result of billions of years of matter moving, gathering, and settling into patterns dictated only by gravity. And even in those voids, the scale is overwhelming. A single void could contain thousands of galaxies and still feel empty. The universe is designed by no one, yet the order is undeniable. The cosmic web is not static. It continues to evolve. Filaments grow stronger, clusters become denser, and voids expand. Matter flows along these threads, pulled silently by gravity. Stars form, galaxies collide, black holes grow. All of this happens without a guiding mind. There is no instruction manual for how the universe should behave. Every pattern, every intersection, every empty void is a natural result of the interplay between gravity and the initial conditions of the cosmos. And that is the strange part. Order arises without anyone deciding it, a pattern born from pure physics, quiet and patient over billions of years. Even the smallest fluctuations in density from the early universe have a role in shaping these structures. Regions with slightly more matter attracted more, becoming the filaments and clusters we see today. Regions with slightly less matter became the vast voids. These differences were tiny, almost invisible at first, but over time they created the skeleton of the universe. And this skeleton exists everywhere. Every galaxy, every cluster, every filament is part of the same structure. The cosmic web is a single, interconnected network spanning billions of light years, created without planning, without intention, yet it holds everything together. Observing the cosmic web changes perspective. Galaxies that seem isolated are connected to others through invisible filaments. No star exists in true isolation. Every object in the universe is part of this network, moving, forming, and evolving according to natural laws. The emptiness between the threads makes the matter stand out, creating a contrast that emphasizes both presence and absence. The universe is both structured and chaotic, empty and full, all at the same time. And this paradox is what makes it so captivating. It is an order that emerges quietly, without noise, without design, yet undeniable when you look at the grandest scales. Even gravity's role is subtle. It does not rush. It does not shout. It pulls gently, persistently over billions of years. Stars, galaxies, and clusters respond, but only slowly. The web of filaments grows imperceptibly, like a pattern appearing in slow motion. No one guides the process. There is no master plan. The order you see today is a consequence of tiny imbalances magnified over unimaginable spans of time. That order is beautiful because it is not forced. It is not directed. It is natural, patient, and inevitable, emerging from silence and empty space. Some filaments are incredibly dense, containing thousands of galaxies. Others are thinner, carrying only a few stars along vast stretches of space. Between them, the voids are so empty that light can travel millions of years without encountering anything. Yet even these voids are part of the web. They shape the growth of matter. They influence the paths of galaxies. They define the boundaries of the structure. Without emptiness, the network could not exist. The silence of space is as essential as the matter itself. The cosmic web is a balance between presence and absence, structure and void, stillness and motion, all created naturally by gravity over billions of years. Even the largest superclusters are connected through these filaments. They are not isolated islands. The universe is continuous, linked by invisible threads that extend beyond what we can see. Galaxies follow these threads as if they were roads, flowing along paths determined by the quiet pull of gravity. The patterns repeat across scales. From the smallest clusters to the largest structures, the universe shows self-similarity. And yet there is no blueprint. There is no designer. Every filament, every void, every cluster is a product of time, gravity, and the initial conditions set in the earliest moments of the cosmos. It is natural, unplanned, inevitable. Observing these patterns also challenges perception. What seems random on smaller scales becomes ordered when viewed across billions of light years. Chaos and emptiness give rise to harmony and structure. The universe creates complexity without a plan, without intention, simply by following rules that were present from the beginning. Filaments form, voids grow, clusters gather, and the mind, if it can perceive it, is drawn into the quiet beauty of patterns emerging from nothing. The universe is speaking in a language without words, showing the power of natural laws to create order where none was directed. Even more fascinating is how these structures persist over time. The cosmic web has existed for billions of years. Gravity continues to shape it, pulling matter along threads, growing clusters, and expanding voids. The pattern is unchanging in its overall structure, even while galaxies move within it. It is a silent, invisible system that evolves slowly, steadily, inevitably. And yet, it is alive in its own way. Not alive in the sense of consciousness, but alive as a process, a mechanism, a network that has endured longer than any planet, any star, any human thought. It is both ancient and ongoing, vast and intimate, invisible and undeniable. And in this realization, the universe feels strange and mysterious. No one planned this web, no intelligence guided it, and yet it is beautiful, it is vast, it is ordered. Patterns emerge from emptiness, complexity arises from simplicity, and silence gives shape to matter. The cosmic web is a reminder that the universe operates on rules that are hidden, patient, and relentless. It shows that order can come from chaos, that structure can emerge without intention, and that the universe is full of secrets waiting to be discovered by those who look closely, patiently, and with curiosity. Before anything we know existed, there was a time when matter itself could not exist. The universe was young, hot, and dense. It was filled with energy so intense that atoms could not form. Protons, neutrons, and electrons could not settle together. Any attempt to combine them would be destroyed instantly by the surrounding heat. Imagine a place where the rules we take for granted no longer apply. Time itself was still unfolding, space was smaller, and matter as we know it was impossible. This was a universe in its most raw and mysterious form. In that early period, energy dominated everything. Light, particles, and radiation were trapped together in a chaotic soup. Photons bounced from particle to particle, unable to travel freely. It was like being in a room filled with mirrors, where every reflection hits another reflection, endlessly. Nothing could escape, nothing could settle, and yet within this chaos, the seeds of order were quietly forming. Tiny fluctuations in density, almost invisible, were stretching across the universe, waiting for the moment when matter could finally take shape. The transition to a universe where matter could exist was not dramatic in a way we might expect. There was no explosion, no announcement, no sudden signal. The universe simply cooled enough for particles to combine. Protons and electrons found each other and formed the first hydrogen atoms. Helium followed. These were the building blocks of everything that would ever exist, and it happened quietly, invisibly, over thousands of years. The universe had shifted from a state of impossibility to possibility, and no one was there to witness the change. It was both ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. Even before this transition, strange processes were at work. Particles collided, annihilated, and transformed into different forms. Matter and antimatter existed in almost equal amounts. When they met, they disappeared, releasing energy. Most of it vanished, leaving only the slight imbalance that allowed matter to survive. That small difference is why anything exists today at all. It is a hidden truth, invisible and almost unbelievable. A tiny imbalance created the universe we know. Without it, there would be nothing. And yet, the universe continued as if unaware, carrying on its work quietly, patiently, without fanfare. The early universe also contained radiation that was far more energetic than anything we can imagine. Light was not what we see today. Photons were packed with energy, moving through the dense chaos, unable to escape. Temperature was extreme, measured in billions of degrees. Space itself was hot and bright, though there were no stars yet. It was a different kind of illumination, one that existed everywhere at once. And this intense energy dictated everything that could or could not exist. Atoms could not form, stars could not ignite, and matter could not settle. The universe was holding its breath. Then, slowly, the universe expanded. As space grew, it cooled. Every second it became a little more hospitable to the formation of matter. The energy that had once prevented atoms from forming was now weaker. Protons could catch electrons. Neutrons could join them. The first neutral atoms appeared, creating the first step toward the universe we recognize. And with that step, the universe changed forever. It was not sudden. It was not announced. It was subtle. It was a quiet transformation that set the stage for stars, galaxies, and planets. The universe moved from a place where matter could not exist to a place where anything was possible. Even the concept of time feels different in this era. Seconds are meaningless on human scales. A million years is tiny compared to the rapid events that shaped the early cosmos. Particles formed and dissolved. Forces acted in ways that we only understand today through complex equations and observations. It was a universe governed entirely by natural laws, without guidance, without consciousness. The formation of matter was inevitable under these laws, but it was also delicate. One small difference, one shift in energy, and the universe could have remained forever impossible. During this period, light itself could not travel freely. Photons were trapped in the dense particle soup, scattering endlessly. The universe was opaque. Nothing could be seen across distances. And yet, the light carried energy and information, waiting for the universe to change. When atoms finally formed, photons were released. This release was the first light that could travel freely, beginning the process that would eventually lead to the cosmic background radiation we observe today. The universe became transparent, but the process was slow and quiet. There was no announcement. There was only change. The early universe also shows us how delicate existence is. Every rule had to be precise. Forces had to balance. Temperatures had to fall within a narrow range. The smallest variation could have prevented atoms from forming. The universe's ability to allow matter to exist was not guaranteed. It was the result of precise conditions that emerged naturally over time. And this makes the cosmos feel mysterious. The conditions for matter were hidden, invisible, but absolutely necessary. Without them, the story of galaxies, stars, planets, and life could never unfold. Even after atoms formed, the universe remained a strange and unfamiliar place. Hydrogen and helium existed, but nothing else. There were no stars, no galaxies, no planets. The cosmos was quiet. The material that would later become stars floated freely in space. Gravity began to pull it together, but only slowly. Billions of years would pass before structures formed. And in that quiet waiting, the universe was still active, shaping its destiny without intention, without awareness, without pause. The formation of matter was just the beginning of a long, patient process. Looking back at this era, we can see the universe as both fragile and inevitable. The inability for matter to exist is as important as its eventual formation. The universe's rules were strict, yet they allowed possibility. The chaos of energy and particles slowly gave way to order. This transformation was subtle, hidden, and almost impossible to notice, but it created everything we know. It is a reminder that the universe's most important changes often happen quietly, without spectacle, and often before anyone or anything could witness them. The cosmos works in silence, shaping reality in ways that are mysterious and profound. Even today, the memory of this time exists everywhere. The background radiation, the cosmic web, and the distribution of galaxies all carry traces of the universe's early inability to form matter. Every photon, every particle, every gravitational effect is a reminder that there was a moment when nothing we know could exist. And that moment set the stage for everything that followed. It shows that the universe is patient, deliberate, and mysterious, even when nothing seems to be happening. It is a story of quiet transitions that changed reality forever. And in this understanding, the mind feels both small and connected. We are here because the universe allowed matter to exist, because photons were released, because gravity pulled. None of it was guided. None of it was certain. Yet it happened. The early universe, when matter could not exist, is a hidden foundation of all that we see. It is silent, invisible, and mysterious, yet it shaped the cosmos completely. And contemplating it allows us to see the universe not as static, but as a quiet, patient force, shaping everything in ways we are only beginning to understand. Even after matter could exist, the universe still held secrets invisible to our eyes. Galaxies formed, stars ignited, and light traveled across space. But something else existed, unseen, untouchable, yet more abundant than the matter we can detect. This is dark matter. It is not light. It does not shine. It does not glow or reflect. You cannot see it, touch it, or feel it directly. And yet it dominates the universe, shaping everything quietly, holding reality together without announcing its presence. It is a mystery older than stars, hidden yet essential. Dark matter passes through everything. It flows through planets, stars, and galaxies without interacting with the matter we know. It does not collide, it does not slow down, it does not react. And still, its presence is felt. Galaxies spin in ways that cannot be explained by visible matter alone. Stars at the edges move faster than expected. The gravity of the unseen keeps them from flying apart. Every galaxy is wrapped in a halo of this invisible substance. It is both everywhere and nowhere, a silent scaffolding for the universe, invisible but undeniable. Scientists first noticed dark matter by watching galaxies. The movement of stars did not match the mass they could see. There was too much gravity. Something unseen had to exist, holding the galaxy together. This invisible presence is dark matter. It outweighs all the stars, planets, and gas combined. More than 80% of the matter in the universe is this unseen force. And yet, it cannot be detected directly. We infer it from its effects, from the quiet pull it exerts over billions of years. It shapes everything, silently, invisibly, without recognition. Dark matter also forms the skeleton of the universe. The cosmic web, the filaments, the clusters of galaxies, all follow paths dictated by its invisible hand. Gravity pulls matter along these hidden structures. Without dark matter, galaxies could not form as they did. Stars would not gather, clusters would not exist, and the universe as we see it would be completely different. It is invisible yet essential. It is quiet yet powerful. And it reminds us that much of reality exists beyond what we can perceive. The universe is not only made of the things we see, it is mostly made of what we cannot. Even though we cannot see it, dark matter has shape. It forms halos around galaxies, stretches along filaments, and collects in clusters. It is like a hidden framework, invisible scaffolding holding up everything visible. And yet, it does not interact with light. Photons pass through it untouched. Space looks empty where dark matter exists, but gravity tells the truth. It pulls on visible matter, shaping the universe without revealing itself. It is a mystery that challenges our perception. The majority of the cosmos is hidden from our eyes, yet it is what gives the universe its form. We do not know what dark matter is made of. It might be particles, perhaps ones we have never seen before. It could behave differently from anything we understand. Some theories suggest it interacts only through gravity, completely undetectable in any other way. Others imagine it could have subtle interactions that are too weak for us to notice. And yet, despite our ignorance, we see its effects everywhere. Its presence is inferred from the motion of galaxies, the distribution of clusters, and the bending of light around invisible masses. Dark matter is a ghost that leaves fingerprints across the universe. Even more strange is that dark matter does not clump in the same way as ordinary matter. Stars form clouds, planets condense, galaxies gather gas, but dark matter stays diffuse. It forms vast halos and webs, invisible but powerful. Its influence extends across millions of light years. The universe's largest structures, the cosmic web, rely on dark matter's pull. It is the silent force keeping galaxies connected, clusters stable, and space structured. And we cannot see it. We can only study its effects, trace its gravity, and wonder at its mystery. The universe depends on something we cannot directly detect. Dark matter also affects the flow of light. Massive concentrations bend light from distant objects, a phenomenon called gravitational lensing. When we observe galaxies far away, sometimes their light is warped by dark matter passing in between. It is a hidden hand bending reality, showing us where matter exists without revealing its form. And this bending is subtle. It requires careful observation and understanding of physics to detect. Yet, it is undeniable. Dark matter shapes what we see, not by force or intention, but by its mere presence. It is the quiet organizer of the cosmos. Even in the early universe, dark matter played a crucial role. Before stars and galaxies formed, it collected in invisible halos, creating the framework that ordinary matter would later follow. Gas gathered along these halos, forming the first stars and galaxies. The universe grew along paths dictated by something we cannot touch or see, and this invisible influence continues today. Every cluster, every filament, every galaxy owes its existence to dark matter. It is the hidden glue of reality, quietly holding everything together without recognition, without interaction, without sound. Thinking about dark matter changes perspective. The universe is mostly invisible. Everything we see, everything we know, is only a fraction of reality. The vast majority is hidden, silent, undetectable, yet it governs everything. It is humbling. It is mysterious. And it reminds us that reality is not always what it appears to be. Light, stars, planets, even galaxies are passengers of a hidden universe, shaped and held in place by a substance that passes through us unnoticed, unacknowledged, and essential. It is the most intimate secret of existence. Even more mysterious is how dark matter interacts with time. It does not age, it does not decay, it persists across billions of years. It has been present since the early universe, forming the skeleton for matter to follow. It is eternal in comparison to stars, which burn out, and planets, which change. It remains silent, invisible, and powerful. And in this persistence, it defines the structure of everything visible. It is a quiet, hidden force present everywhere, yet unseen, shaping the cosmos with patience, consistency, and mystery. Dark matter also challenges imagination. It cannot be felt. It cannot be seen. And yet it is more important than anything we can perceive. It carries the weight of galaxies, it holds clusters together, it guides the growth of structures, and it does so without announcement. It exists everywhere, shaping everything, and we are immersed in it. The universe is a reality supported largely by what is invisible, a hidden truth that the mind struggles to grasp, a secret waiting to be understood, quietly influencing everything we observe. Even as we explore the universe, dark matter remains elusive. Scientists attempt to detect it, to study it, to understand it. But every experiment confirms only what we already know. It is unseen. It is undetectable in ordinary ways. Yet it exists everywhere, shaping reality. The universe is not just a collection of stars and galaxies. It is a vast system held together by invisible matter, something that passes through everything without notice, quietly supporting the cosmos, patiently waiting for minds to recognize its presence. And that is the ultimate mystery. Reality depends on something we cannot see, cannot touch, cannot perceive directly, yet it governs everything. The universe is not just held together by invisible matter. It is also being pushed apart by a force no one can see or touch. This is dark energy, a strange pressure that fills empty space. It does not flow, it does not move, it does not press like air or water. And yet, it dominates the universe, controlling its expansion in a way that is almost impossible to imagine. The spaces between galaxies are growing faster every moment, and nothing can stop it. It is a quiet power, invisible and unstoppable, shaping the universe without effort, without notice. Dark energy is everywhere. It does not concentrate or cluster like matter or dark matter. It is uniform, filling space evenly. Every cubic meter of empty space contains it, even the gaps between galaxies and stars. It is a silent pressure, pushing against the universe itself. Galaxies are carried along by its invisible hand, not by their own motion, but by the space around them stretching. This stretching happens faster as time passes. The universe is expanding not at a constant rate but accelerating, and the force behind it is completely invisible. There is no resistance, no friction, no sound. It is simply there, quiet and relentless. Even though we cannot touch dark energy, we see its effects. Galaxies that seem to be moving slowly are actually being carried apart by the expanding fabric of space. Clusters that were once closer together are now separated by increasing distances. The universe is not empty and still. It is a space in motion, growing faster over time. And this motion is invisible, mysterious, and strange. Nothing pushes against us, yet everything is being pulled along. The universe is expanding from within itself, quietly, powerfully, invisibly. And this expansion dominates reality more than any star or galaxy ever could. The pressure of dark energy is subtle but absolute. It does not bend like gravity, it does not pull like mass, it does not attract. Instead, it acts by creating space where there was none. It stretches the gaps between objects, expanding the cosmos from the inside. It does not move into space, it is space. And that is the most mysterious part. The fabric of reality itself carries a force. It does not exist inside matter or between matter, but in the space that seems empty. And yet, that emptiness is far from powerless. It has quiet control over the universe on the largest scales. Even more mysterious is that dark energy appears to be constant. Unlike gravity, which weakens with distance, dark energy does not diminish. The more space exists, the more dark energy there is. As the universe expands, there is more of it to push galaxies further apart. Its influence grows as the cosmos grows. It is a self-reinforcing pressure, invisible, untouchable, unstoppable. It dominates the large-scale structure of reality, yet no one can see it directly. Its existence is inferred only from the motion of galaxies and the stretching of space over billions of years. It is a silent sculptor, shaping the fate of everything. The acceleration of the universe caused by dark energy is puzzling. For a long time, scientists expected gravity to slow expansion, not increase it. Instead, measurements showed galaxies receding faster and faster. Something mysterious is pushing everything apart. It is not a wind or a flow. It is not a force in the ordinary sense. It is an intrinsic property of space itself, making reality stretch from within. The universe is expanding in a way that defies intuition, in a way that feels almost supernatural, yet it is natural and constant, obeying the hidden rules of physics. And this is the quiet wonder of it: expansion without touch, influence without presence, dominance without sound. Dark energy also changes the way we imagine the future. If it continues, the universe will keep accelerating. Galaxies we see today will eventually be carried so far away that they vanish from sight. Light traveling toward us will never arrive. Clusters that are visible now will disappear beyond reach. The universe will grow emptier, quieter, darker, stretched by a force no one can feel. And yet this process is not violent. It is patient. It is subtle. It does not announce itself. It works on scales so vast that human life is insignificant. The cosmos is quietly reshaping itself from within, carried by a pressure that exists only in the emptiness around us. Even within galaxies, dark energy is present, but its effect is too small to notice locally. Stars, planets, and clusters remain bound by gravity. Dark energy cannot disrupt these systems directly. Its influence dominates only when vast distances are involved. And in this, there is a strange balance. The universe is both stable and expanding, held together in parts, yet carried apart in others. It is a dual nature, quiet and mysterious, making the cosmos feel alive in ways we cannot touch or see. The expansion is happening, yet it feels invisible. It is the pressure of nothingness controlling everything. Observing this expansion requires looking far back in time. Light from distant galaxies carries the story of the universe's growth. When we measure the distance and speed of these galaxies, we see the influence of dark energy. It has been acting for billions of years, shaping the cosmos silently, invisibly. It does not make a sound, it does not shine, it does not compete with gravity or matter. It simply exists in empty space and grows as the universe grows. Its dominance is absolute, yet entirely hidden from ordinary perception. It is the most mysterious force we have ever discovered. The effect of dark energy also challenges imagination. We think of empty space as passive, as a backdrop for matter to exist. But in truth, empty space is active. It has its own pressure. It stretches, it grows, it pushes galaxies apart. It is a form of energy that is everywhere, yet nowhere specific. It is silent, invisible, and unstoppable. And this realization changes how we think about the universe. The emptiness we take for granted is not passive. It is alive with quiet influence, shaping reality on the grandest scales without recognition, without effort, without announcement. It is a hidden ruler of the cosmos. Even more mysterious is that dark energy may continue forever. We do not know if it will weaken, vanish, or remain constant. All we know is that its influence is real today. It is carrying galaxies apart, stretching space itself, defining the future of the universe. And yet, we cannot interact with it. We cannot feel it, see it, or touch it. It exists only in its effects, quietly shaping reality, invisible yet undeniable. The universe is expanding not because of what exists, but because of what is hidden within the fabric of empty space. And this is the secret. Emptiness is not empty. It has presence, pressure, and dominance. Thinking about dark energy can make the universe feel both alien and intimate. It is everywhere. It touches every part of the cosmos. It affects everything on the largest scales. Yet it is invisible and silent. It does not announce itself, yet it defines the future. The universe is being carried apart by a force we cannot detect directly, but whose presence is clear in the motion of galaxies. It is a reminder that reality is deeper than perception, that emptiness is full of influence, and that the universe operates in ways far beyond our senses. The pressure inside empty space shapes the cosmos quietly, mysteriously, and relentlessly. Black holes are often imagined as monsters, devouring everything in sight. Movies and stories make them seem violent, chaotic, and dangerous, but the reality is far stranger and quieter. Most black holes spend billions of years almost completely inactive. They sit in space, invisible, unchanging, quietly existing without drama. They do not roar. They do not pull constantly at everything around them. They are still, patient, waiting for rare moments when something ventures too close. Their presence dominates space quietly, not with spectacle, but with subtle influence over time. A black hole forms when a massive star collapses. Its core compresses into an incredibly dense point, so small and heavy that nothing, not even light, can escape its pull. But after formation, most black holes do not continue consuming matter endlessly. They exist in quiet isolation. Stars, gas, and planets often orbit them from vast distances. For billions of years, a black hole may not interact with anything. It simply exists, a hidden presence, bending space and time around it, influencing reality without making a sound. This is the unusual nature of these cosmic objects, mostly still, mostly patient, mostly silent. You are inside all of this, even if you cannot feel it. Every part of the universe moves around you, shapes itself, and unfolds quietly. Galaxies spin, stars burn and fade, black holes wait, dark matter and dark energy act, all without notice. And you exist within it, carried by forces you cannot see, guided by processes you cannot sense. You are moving, yet unaware. Space stretches, light travels, and time passes, yet the rhythm continues without needing your attention. You are part of it, a silent observer within a story larger than any single moment. Every breath you take, every thought you have, occurs while invisible forces shape reality around you. Dark matter holds the structure together. Dark energy stretches space apart. Stars light the universe briefly, then fade. Black holes anchor galaxies silently. And through it all, you move along, inside the vast story, a passenger in processes that do not require your awareness. The universe is alive with motion, energy, and change, yet it does not pause for observation. You are both inside and outside, carried forward by invisible currents of existence. Even the light that reaches your eyes tells a story older than you can imagine. Photons left stars and galaxies millions or billions of years ago. Their journey brought them across empty space, through unseen gravity, past invisible dark matter, and expanding distances. You witness them now, unaware of the immense passage of time they traveled. You are part of the effect of their existence, yet you could never influence it. The universe operates without your permission, yet you exist entirely inside its motion. It is quiet, mysterious, and endless. Time itself feels personal, yet it is not. Seconds tick for you, but billions of years pass in the cosmos outside your perception. Stars form and die while you sleep. Galaxies drift apart while you move through your day. Black holes wait patiently, and yet they influence orbits far from where you stand. Dark energy stretches space in directions you cannot measure. And through all of this, you are carried forward, part of processes that do not require awareness. You exist in a universe that does not stop for observation, and this quiet truth is both strange and comforting. Even the emptiness around you is full of action. Nothing is truly still. Dark energy grows, space expands. Dark matter holds galaxies together. Gravity pulls without announcing itself. The cosmos is a symphony of invisible forces, and you are inside the music without noticing the notes. You move through it naturally, part of the motion, part of the rhythm. You are both observer and participant, yet the story does not rely on your awareness. It continues quietly, patiently, across vast distances and times. The universe contains more than you can perceive. Invisible matter, fading light, quiet black holes stretching space, all exist beyond human senses. And yet you are in the middle of it. Every heartbeat, every blink, every movement occurs within a web of forces older than the earth, older than the sun, older than human thought. You are a passenger in a story that began long before you and will continue long after you. The quiet power of these processes surrounds you constantly, shaping every particle, every motion, every second of existence without notice or interruption. Even as the universe fades, expands, and changes, you are carried along. Stars burn out, galaxies separate, light stretches and cools, and black holes wait. The universe's quiet motions surround you, yet you cannot feel them. You are inside something immense, where time and space operate independently of perception. The story continues, carrying matter, energy, and light forward. You are a part of it, moving in silence, existing within vast, unseen structures, yet unaware of most of it. And this invisibility is part of the universe's secret. It unfolds without requiring recognition, yet it shapes everything. Your presence in the universe is subtle, almost like the trace of a particle in motion. You are affected by gravity, by light, by the invisible push and pull of forces too large and too small to detect. The expansion of space moves you imperceptibly. Dark matter shapes your galaxy. Dark energy moves distant clusters further away. And through all of this, you are both completely ordinary and entirely extraordinary. Ordinary because you cannot influence these forces. Extraordinary because you exist within them, a conscious witness inside processes older than time itself. Even the fading future of the universe carries you along. Stars will die, light will dim, galaxies will drift apart, black holes will remain, and space will stretch. You are carried through it all, not by intention, not by effort, but by simply existing. The universe operates independently of awareness, yet you move through it, part of its story. It is a quiet lesson. Reality continues without notice, without acknowledgement, and yet you are inside it, part of every process, part of every change, part of the infinite unfolding of space and time. The universe does not wait for observation. It does not depend on consciousness. Stars ignite and fade, black holes form and wait, light travels for billions of years, and space expands relentlessly. And you move within it, inside the processes, feeling only a fraction of the invisible rhythm that surrounds you. Time continues, matter moves, light shines and dims, and forces act independently. You exist in the quiet of all this, part of the universe without requiring its awareness. And this quiet participation is the most mysterious and profound truth of all. Existence is inside motion, not outside it. Even now, as you listen, read, or think, the universe moves. You are inside invisible waves of gravity, carried along by unseen energy, enveloped by matter, shaped by forces far beyond comprehension. You exist inside a story without beginning or end, moving forward without knowing it. Light from distant stars passes through space, influenced by dark matter. Galaxies separate, black holes wait, and dark energy pushes the cosmos. And you are a part of it, yet mostly unaware. You are both observer and subject, inside the universe's quiet flow, yet not required to notice. The universe will continue long after you are gone, and yet every instant you exist, you are a part of it. Invisible motions carry you, unseen forces shape your surroundings. Light from distant pasts touches your eyes. You are moving inside processes that do not need your attention, carried by laws that existed before thought. The cosmos continues quietly, invisibly, patiently, shaping everything with subtle influence. You are inside it, part of the story, part of the motion, part of reality's quiet unfolding, without needing to understand, without needing to act, without needing to notice. And so the universe goes on. Stars burn, black holes wait, galaxies separate, light stretches, dark energy expands, and dark matter holds structures together. You are part of it. Every heartbeat, every movement, every thought occurs within this immense, silent story. You exist inside the processes without knowing. You are carried by the quiet rhythm of space and time. You are inside everything described, moving without feeling it, existing within a story that does not depend on awareness. There is no conclusion, no ending. Only continuation, quiet, invisible, mysterious, eternal.